Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest monster truck diecast YouTube channel. This is Monsterjamocd'S.
Hello Monster Jam fans, and welcome back to another Monsterjamocd'S Top 10 video. This one is for 2020, and I know I'm kind of late on this. My friend Driver's Ed actually just made his Top 10 of 2020 video, and I figured I might as well do mine as well, because I do want to talk about the trucks that I think were the top trucks of the singles packs for last year. The reason I waited so long in the long run here is because not all the singles packs had made it out to stores when I originally wanted to do the review of the top 10, or the recap of the top 10 in December of 2020. But now we're in May of 2021, and everything has been at least spotted by someone in stores by now. So today we're going to start with number 10 on my list. This might surprise people, and this list will vary from person to person. This is just my personal top 10 of 2020, but this one is number 10, the Toro Loco Yellow. And I think a lot of people will agree that this is one of the cleanest looking trucks that they've made so far. It was part of the Legacy truck, so it had the BKTs. They also went further with the detail and added the purple beadlocks on gray rims. And this thing is super flashy, super accurate, and there's not a single bit wrong with this truck. So it's very hard to get a truck that's picture perfect, but I think they really nailed it here with the yellow Toro Loco. So one of the best trucks they've released in terms of accuracy to the real life truck. So really awesome model here. Number 10 on my list is the yellow Toro Loco of the Legacy trucks. So there is yellow Toro Loco. And at number 9, I have to mention this truck on the top 10 list because it is the first time Spin Master has gone out and done a split paint job Monster Jam truck. It's actually the first time we've ever seen a split paint job Monster Jam truck done and attempted, and the team there definitely nailed it with the 20th anniversary Bounty Hunter. So you can see they have the split paint color. They did end up doing another split paint job truck in 2020, which was the Fire and Ice Gravedigger. However, this is part of the singles packs, and I'm only doing singles packs for this review. So here is my number 9 choice, the split paint job Bounty Hunter Super Clean. Actually 2 paint colors, not a decal in place of a paint color, so they really went above and beyond for this split paint job Bounty Hunter, and I hope that we'll see an Avenger. And at number 8, this might surprise a lot of people, but I'm not looking at this in terms of how long it stayed in stores, how it became a peg warmer. I'm looking at it from a design point of view, and the World Finals 19 Black Encore Max D definitely has to take a spot in the top trucks of the year. Regardless of how it was distributed to stores, I think this definitely, in terms of design, was nailed perfectly. There are newer editions of it from the Dirty to Clean series with actual chrome spikes, but for its first time release, this was incredible. With the matte clear coat, we have the shiny reflective decals like the real truck, and accurate flames, as well as championships on the roof. So this thing is beautiful. The only thing that I could complain about, besides the chrome spikes not being chrome on this edition, would be the front engine. But at the time, they didn't have the front engine available to the public, so they did release it as a CRD rear engine. However, this is a beautiful truck, and I'm so happy they finally went out of the way to make this Encore edition of Max D. So there is number 8, the World Finals 19 Encore Black Max D. And at number 7, we have the Joker Monster Jam truck. And I definitely talked about this at the beginning of 2020 and throughout 2020 as potentially my top truck of the year. Other things definitely took priority over it, but it still gets a mention on my top 10 list. This is the Joker, kind of a messed up here VW Beetle that's been kind of chopped down and stuff, but it looks sick. I know people have their own opinions of this truck, but I love the Joker truck. So there it is with that awesome roof rack, which, by the way, you can actually remove. There's 2 screws holding it in. You can actually unscrew that roof rack. But there is Joker, an awesome Monster Jam truck, and I love that they finally did a villain for the DC fleet. So there is Joker, number 7 on my top 10 of 2020. And at number 6, this should surprise no one that this is on my top 10 list, the Reckless Trucks Gravedigger, one of the most highly anticipated trucks of the year, one of the highest rated trucks of the year as well, and this thing is super awesome. We will be seeing in 2021 a 1/24 scale edition of the truck in the near future, so this truck definitely has a huge following and popularity behind it, so definitely has to make an appearance on my top 10 list. Number 6 is the Reckless Trucks Gravedigger. And at number 6, we have the Avenger World Finals 20 paint scheme, the first ever Bel Air casting by Spin Master. This could have been number 1, honestly, had they just kept the back window and trunk filled in, of course, by request of Team Scream's Jim Kohler himself, the owner of the truck. They did cut it out to reveal the motor. But I think the casting overall, besides that cut, is perfect. Really, they did an amazing job. The wrap looks great. Just that hole is undeniably unattractive in my opinion, so I will knock points off of the top 10 list for that. However, the roll cage, the chassis color matching to the real truck, as well as these incredible BKTs and beadlocks and rim color choice, this looks really, really good, and I can't deny that it's one of the best trucks of 2020. Just a couple casting errors that definitely pushed it from the top spot of the year. And I do have 2 honorable mentions that I can't leave off this list. The first being the Salvager from the Reckless Truck series, our first Reckless Trucks of the year. So there's Salvager. I think a lot of people agree that this is one of the coolest concepts that they've come up with, very Mad Max style junkyard theme. So there is the Salvager. And the second honorable mention of the top 10 list of this year is the Dragon Elemental's Fire. Just in terms of how it looks, I think it's a very attractive looking truck with the red color, the orange tones, and those fire tires. So those are my top 2 honorable mentions of 2020. I wanted to do 3, but I think I'm just going to leave it at 2. So there is the Fire Elemental's Dragon and Salvager as my honorable mentions before the top 5. And here we go, top 5 of 2020. The first one is kind of debated, but I put it at number 5 just because in the end, I think Gravedigger Ride Truck is the most accurate ride truck they did end up doing. However, BKT is still my favorite ride truck, but I'm looking at accuracy here as one of the main factors, and I got to go with BKT as number 5. Still in the top 5, I got to give it that credit. I love this ride truck. I love the ride trucks in general. I think the Chase Piece series from last year is going to be very tough to top. Obviously, Showtime trucks are not nearly as extravagant as the ride trucks became, but you can see here, this is an incredible model that they did with the side view mirrors, the seating arrangement, the back ladder here to get in the truck. They even printed on the tailgate, even though you can't see it. And yeah, this is number 5 on my list. And then switching right into number 4 is another ride truck, which is Gravedigger Ride Truck. And this one is super, super accurate. From the seating arrangement to the body style and casting, artwork, everything. I love this truck. And again, not my favorite ride truck. It's my second favorite, but it does get points for accuracy as well as those flotation tires. The only thing they should have added is the staircase, but I think the casting was just too expensive at this point to add that extra detail. But the casting itself overall with the shape of how they did this truck looks amazing, and I got to give them props for even doing this truck. So there is Gravedigger Ride Truck number 4 on my top 10 list of 2020. And the top 3 of the year, these are the big dogs. The first one up, number 3, is the Black Pearl Monster Truck. Now people might think this was going to be my top 1 of the year. I got to give it to someone else that you might be a little surprised at, but Black Pearl gets a huge mention in the top 3 of the year. Definitely one of the best independent trucks they've done yet, in conjunction with Star Creations, of course, on the wrap job, as well as Tattoos by Freak Jeremy Day, who designed that hood. This truck was long overdue. We finally got it. They even did the accurate gold or bronze beadlocks over the gold rims, and it is one of the best looking trucks that they've done at all, out of all Spin Masters. So I got to give them credit for that. Number 3 on my list is definitely the Black Pearl Monster Truck. And number 2 of the year, this might surprise you that it's also not number 1. There's a lot of great trucks from last year, but it is the Wolf's Head Motor Oil, one of the other Star Creation models that they gave to Spin Master in 3D form, and they actually translated into 1/64 scale and 1/24 scale die-cast forms in 2020, though we only received the 1/64 scale. But now, this year, we are getting the 1/24, which is already in stores. So Wolf's Head, I definitely could not leave this off of my top list. It was one of the most highly anticipated trucks, like I said, with others this year, and the casting is phenomenal. The work they did, the pearlescent paint and clear coat, it looks amazing. I love the beadlocks and the chassis color, and it is number 2 of the top 10 trucks of 2020, by far one of the best trucks they've done. So there is Wolf's Head Motor Oil. And here we go, the top truck of 2020, in my opinion. I am an old school fan at heart, and this truck was part of my childhood, and for so long I wanted them to do it accurately, whether it was Hot Wheels or Spin Master, and thankfully, to the best team we have at Spin Master, we did receive an accurate release of one of my favorite trucks that's ever competed in Monster Jam, and that is the Backwards Bob. Very simple, I know. However, the small micro details make the difference for me. And the biggest factor here is that they actually did the casting backwards. They sacrificed a lot of time and effort and budget for this casting to be backwards on this chassis. This is one of the only trucks that can actually be used for, so they really did go above and beyond here. They even expanded the cab here to make it look like the real backwards Bob. In addition to that, they also did the crossbar, which was a real detail of the truck. You can see it even has 2 bolts on each side to hold it in like the real truck had, and they added the double windshield to protect the driver. So this truck is one of the coolest things I've ever seen as an old school fan and someone who loved backwards Bob dearly, and a tribute to one of the coolest concepts that's ever hit the fleet. So there is backwards Bob, my top truck of 2020. Again, this might not be everyone's favorite truck of the year, but for me, I cannot deny that it is my favorite. And once I saw it in person, I could never look back. So there is my top 10 of 2020. I hope you guys agree with some of my choices, but if you don't, I'd love to hear what you guys think about your top 10 of 2020, and I will see you guys next time. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like this video. It will help me so much, and I will see you guys in that next video. This is Ryan or Monsterjamocd'S, signing out.